but Lori Rankin does.
Is she coming?
She couldn't be here today, so she wrote something for me to read, and so I'll go ahead and do that. From Lori Rankin, New York State Chapter Chair of the Forest Fire Lookout Association. And Lori writes, on behalf of the Forest Fire Lookout Association, I would like to thank the Mount Tremper Fire Tower Committee Chair, Mark Atchison, and the Catskill Fire Tower Project for their efforts in making this celebration happen. Not only do you come here today to celebrate 100-year anniversary of the Mount Tremper Fire Tower, but you're also providing a thank you to the men who served here as observers from 1917 to 1970. William Smith, Roy Erickson, Thomas Rotello, Eugene Wilbur, Felix Van Valkenburg, and Harry Baldwin proudly stood watch over the forest fire and the surrounding communities and homes from this historic tower. This plaque will remind visitors of their vigilant work here in this historic structure. The Catskill Fire Tower Project took over the job of maintaining this structure in 1997, and with the help of numerous volunteers continues to do so today. Well-trained volunteers greet visitors every weekend. These volunteers exemplify the mission of the FFLA to restore fire towers, remember their history, and share the work of past observers. We are very grateful for all of your work, and look forward to assisting you for the next 100 years. Happy birthday, Mount Tremper Fire Tower. Enjoy your time here at the summit, and enjoy the views from the cab. From Lori Rankin, Director of the New York State Chapter of the Forest Fire Lookout Association. And so thank you, Lori, for those kind words. And I actually do have something to say, so I'll go ahead and do it. We're here, Mount Tremper is here at 2740 feet. It's a little lower for a Catskill fire tower, or for a fire tower in Forest Preserve in New York State. But the last time a fire was observed from this fire tower was in the spring of 2016. And when I saw those pictures coming over of the fire on Hunter Mountain, I said, Tremper is the place to be. And that Saturday morning I ran up here in the spring of 2016, and sure enough, Hunter Mountain Fire Tower was directly above it, and they couldn't see it down below. Overlook didn't have a chance. They had elderbark and Carl in the way. They never had a chance. But for Mount Tremper, you were looking right onto that 100+ acre forest fire. Sometimes the smoke would waft up and you could see it. Other times it would settle down and you wouldn't see it. But all day I was up there and people were coming up and they had a chance to see what these observers listed here for all these years. And that's why they built this fire tower. And that's why the view from this fire tower...
Who's behind you?
Oh, sure. Okay. Go ahead. And so that's why the view... and yeah, that's why the view from this fire tower is that's why they built this fire tower, and that's why the work that these people did for all those years was so important. And so this, you know, I've said it 1,000 times, there's no better view of the Catskills from Mount Tremper Fire Tower. It's a great honor to be volunteering here. The one other thing, she also mentions the volunteers. I wanted to make sure to thank 3 people. You know, I don't know the years, but maybe from 95 to 2000, the owner of Tinker Tube Rentals down in Phoenicia carried the torch and kept the volunteer. I don't even know his name. Does anyone know his name?
I met him, but I don't know his name either.
So anyway, so he carried the torch of the volunteer program.
This was from 95 to 2000?
This time frame, we'll find out. But so there's somebody to thank down there, and when I drive home, I'm going to make sure to tell him about today.
He definitely said that he was very involved in the getting this back in working order. You know, he was very involved in putting the fire tower back together here.
And then
working with George.
And then after that, when he passed it on to Matt Kelly in 2000. And for 2 or 3 years, Matt Kelly, even though he was a graduate student in SUNY ESF in Syracuse, he still carried the torch for this volunteer program. And now, so thanks to these folks, and now, believe me, I know how hard it is, but now we have Mark Atchison, who came on last year to do the operations, and the tower has never been in better shape than when Mark started taking over maintaining this fire tower.
I gotta take windows.
Then when he took over, he had help. It was Mark, and Sue Sirico is right here, and she coordinated the volunteers, which is so time consuming and difficult, and you have to be there to make sure that the tower is covered every weekend, and she did that seamlessly. And I know, believe me, it's a lot of work to do both halves of it, but this year Mark's doing both halves of it. So I just want to make sure to thank Mark for coordinating the volunteers of Mount Tremper Fire Tower, and that's all I have to say. Thank you so much, and thanks to, now I'll give it to Mark to say a few words. Thank you.
I ended up coming to this tower by accident. About a little over 6 years ago, probably 6.5 years ago. The lady I work with, she's long retired now. I think she lives up in Newfoundland now or something. But she gave me the sheet, and she was going to volunteer at one of the fire towers. And I'm looking at it, I said, oh. And so I picked this tower, and actually Jonathan and me, I think, trained on the same day. And Doug was up here from Red Hill. And I've been up here ever since. And like last year, Susan and me took over from Jonathan, coordinating it. And I think Matt Kelly was here when we first came here.
Yeah.
He was still here that last year. This is I always refer to this tower as the Black Sheep Tower, because all we have is a tower. We don't have, there's almost nothing else. They took everything away from here. But you guys, I know you're working on helping to get some things up here to make it a little easier for us to do things up here. The views here are good, and I always appreciate it. It's not an easy hike up here. It's always a workout. I remember Kevin, I ran into him when he was coming up to watch the eclipse up here, and I was headed out with the Schoharie Youth Bureau. He goes, every time I come up here, I forget how much this trail takes out. You just walk. It doesn't seem like it should be that bad. But I'm glad I'm here. And my wife, actually, this morning when I left, one of the last things she says is, you gonna tell him you're retiring from Fire Tower? And I said, no. And so I'm here for a while, at least longer.
Does your wife want you to retire?
From here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. Because she asked you that question. So.
I don't know. She probably takes a lot of time sometimes. So a lot of times, like next weekend, my son is going to be coming up on Saturday. He was supposed to be up here today, but he left the house at 4:45 to get over to Post and Kill to work. He got called in. So we're here, and there's the plaque. It's on an old piece of furniture I sawed apart. It actually came out good, too.
Yeah, it came out great. And the one thing, if I can, I want to, these are all New York State DEC employees that were listed on this plaque here. And so...
Actually, it's amazing because there wasn't that many people. Whoever worked here obviously really liked working here, because if you saw the other fire tower plaques, there's a lot more people on them. Maybe it had to do with the fact there was 3 shacks up here, and they had a little bit more felt like home or something. But yeah, there's not that many compared to like Hunter. There was a lot of names on the Hunter plaque. So the people must have been happy here.
Well, the one thing I want to make sure is, Ian, I want to make sure to thank you and your staff for taking such good care of the fire tower and always being there when we need help with it. I don't want to, we put you on the spot, but if you had a few words you wanted to say, please feel free. And
well, you're very welcome, Jonathan. You know, I appreciate you guys putting this together for the centennial anniversary of the Tremper Mountain Fire Tower. You know, without efforts of volunteers and the volunteer coordinators, there's just no way we'd be able to keep this place staffed Memorial Day through Columbus Day on the weekends for the public, the people of the state of New York, and visitors all across the country to come here and enjoy and experience the fire tower up at the top of Tremper Mountain. Truly a beautiful place to hike and to observe from. I'm so glad that we have people who really put an effort into keeping this place is in the upkeep of it as nice as it is. So you know, working closely together with Catskill Center and you know, the other volunteers throughout New York that want to give their time to help others and interpret the experience that other people are having. It's a big help to us, and it's a big help to the state, and we do truly appreciate it from the side of the state. So thank you, and you know, we appreciate all the work you do. Anytime you need any kind of help or you know, improvements on the tower, please feel free to contact me, and we'll work together to keep this place as beautiful as possible.
All right.
Thank you.